Welcome back to the RealFemSapien YouTube channel where I give cultural commentary, and today we have a gem drop. But before we jump in, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified of my daily videos. Today's gem drop is going to be about gynocentrism and putting women's feelings above the welfare of children. Because a lot of the pushback that I get from women on the occasions when I do get pushback, because to be fair, 99% of my comments are really positive and you guys are telling me, hey, keep on the path and you're doing a great thing. And then there's the 1%, some days 10% of people that are just angry and want to make everyone around them miserable. And they're doing it online, so you know that they're doing it in real life. These trolls are doing that stuff in real life if they even have any friends, if they even leave their house. So a big critique that I get all the time is that I bash women, I hate women, I'm always putting women down, I'm not holding men accountable. That's not true. I do hold men accountable on some of the episodes that I've had on my platform. You can tell by how angry the men get in the comment section. I'm truly politically homeless because I know that we have problems with modern women, but I also know that we have problems with modern men. And the problems that go on in the dating market, though, I believe fall squarely on the shoulders of women and have for a very long time. The way that I'm going to break that down is that culturally and globally, the responsibility of raising children has always been on the mother. So they are the statistical majority of caregiving. So the men that we have in the dating market that we often complain about, usually somebody gave birth to them. I know it's 2022 and this concept of a woman giving birth to a baby is confusing for some, not for normal people. Yes, they had a mother. And so these mothers were statistically charged with raising them. And how did they raise them to the men that we complain the most about in the dating market? And these are things that have gone on in several communities. I know that I can personally speak on things that have gone on in the Puerto Rican community, but it doesn't take much to look at statistics of other demographics and cultures that are out there and to look at the fatherlessness rate. And here is why I don't believe necessarily in this absentee father. It does happen. There are men that abandon their children, but there are also men who have been trapped who never wanted to be in their kids' lives, but the women didn't care, so they did what they wanted to anyway. So women control 100% of who is born in the West. We have since probably 1960, that's when hormonal birth control came out, but terminating pregnancy, that medical procedure was legalized in the 1920s. So we have had unilateral control of who is born. Once that sperm leaves that man's body, we get to decide what's going to be the outcome of that pregnancy if it does result in a pregnancy. And you'll see the decisions that women make reproductively, they don't seem to care much at times about the outcome for the child. There's a negative outcome associated with the child should you decide to reproduce with a flaky man that you barely knew. But when we come out and we tell women, please be more selective on the men that you sleep with, sexual liberation is a lie, don't believe it, it's at the expense of not just your children, but also yourself. And of course, we can talk about men being slaves to child support in a completely different conversation. My point is, when we decide to tell women to be more selective on who they spread their legs to, then we're SLUT shaming them. It always comes down to the emotions of the woman, the validation of the woman. You know who doesn't get validated and emotionally well-rounded in this situation where we have a single mother, because that's what we're going to look at next? The child. The child doesn't get emotionally validated. So where y'all see that I am checking women, well, you guys call it bashing. I know for a fact that I'm checking women. Men get checked all day, every day. And I think that's why, they live very different lives, very realistic lives. The ones that aren't delusional, they understand that their actions have consequences and they have to act accordingly because they're a man in the West. And so they're not going to be forgiven at all. Men get judged like that. They get hemmed up constantly. They get hit with reality quick. Women, we get coddled and sedated a little bit because everybody wants to please us, or men want to sleep with us for a very long time. Only 1 in 3 and 1 in 5 men is even having sex. So that was a little tangent. The main point is that when we have conversations about single mothers and say, hey, why did you choose to sleep with a fake, flaky loser during your ovulation window? Women lose their minds. And I am a woman who was a girl who was born in a single mother household. And that's what's confusing for me, because you would think that these women would listen to a woman who was a girl who lived through that and can speak on it in adulthood, because maybe it would give them some insight about what their children can expect or what their children might think when they grow up. But they only ever think about themselves. And immediately in the comment section, it's going to be not all women, not all women. Enough single mothers act self-centered that there's a stereotype. I used to not believe the stereotypes about single mothers either, until I started looking at their behaviors closer and looking at how often they put themselves before their children. Because, I mean, yeah, you got to think, it doesn't happen by accident. There's a conscious, poor decision. And some women take responsibility for it. Shout out to single moms out there that chose life. But I befriended a single mother in college. I thought that she wanted help, wanted to improve her life. At least that was the story that she told me. But I would see how she would act in class and make herself out to be this hero. Oh, I'm a single mother. Which single mothers are praised and stepfathers are praised. Biological fathers, do they get any praise? This is my question about this gynocentric social order. I engage in this relationship. Eventually I come to find, you know what? She's always got nice clothes. She's always using her credit card. She's on child support. She's getting scholarships. Her son always has worn out shoes. He's always got really bad clothes. They're always struggling to find food. And that's what I'm saying, is enough of them act that way that it's become a stereotype. It's not a joke, it's true. And all of this occurs at the expense of children. So no, I am not anytime soon going to stop checking single mothers, because their emotions should not be above the welfare of children. I just don't care. That's the one thing that I'm very, very passionate about on my platform, is protecting the children in practical ways. That's why you'll see me make TikToks about the trans community and the trans agenda, because they're out here sterilizing children who cannot make decisions for themselves. And then when someone with a reasonable morality ethic comes in and says, hey, that is child ABUSE, delusional people lose their minds. So the inspiration for this gem drop was coming from the comment section, the beautiful comment section. It's just such a nice place. You guys, honestly, really, such a wonderful bunch. But I put it out there. What aren't you enjoying from the platform? And of course, it's modern women coming out and saying that I'm too hard on them. To be honest, I'm not hard on modern women enough, and I can tell by my numbers. I could make the channel grow so much more if I checked you guys for real, for real. Some of y'all will call in, and I just keep my opinions to myself, and I ask you questions that basically allow you to paint the picture of the kind of person that you are, and I reserve my opinion for myself. I do have it, but I think that there's a difference between checking women and roasting women. If a woman was to call in and say that she was looking for a man and she was being delusional, I would check her so that she could actually get what she wanted. But if a woman is talking about her relationship where she has a man and how she made it work and she still is a little bit delusional, she's not calling in to get checked. She's calling in to try to share advice. If I think the advice is bad, I'll probably say so. So I put the prompt out on my community page, and the women come out in full force. I'm not enjoying the constant bashing of single mothers and them being treated like trash by men in the comments. Single mothers are deserving of respect just like anyone else. Full stop. Full stop. No one deserves respect. Respect is earned. That is an entitled mentality. And there are things that I believe probably as a woman that everyone deserves love. Yeah, from your mama. But to say that everyone deserves respect, full stop, immediately no. Immediately no. There are many reasons why someone might be a single mother. I would like to see a little nuance. There are single dads too. We may find that a single parent may make a wonderful partner, and some men or women could miss out on a blessing because they dismiss them. I am conservative and not advocating for becoming a single mother, but as a Christian, we should be caring for our single mothers, widows, and the fatherless. We do. They have government social programs. We do take care of our single mothers, our widows, and the fatherless to an extent. Those kids need more emotional support and more practical support than what they're presently getting. But that's because mama gets all the rights. Mama gets to decide, even though she might not have the best track record, she is charged with raising that child. So we don't have influence on that. And I'm tired of people trying to tell me how to be a Christian. The only person that I have to answer to is Christ. And you guys know that very well. I do appreciate the feedback at times, but I'm getting a lot of feedback from blue-pilled Christians that want to deny reality. Full denial of reality. And the Bible is the truth. The Bible is the word. How can you read that and walk around in la-la land in a delusional state and then try to get me to follow you as a Christian? I don't think so. Because that entire perspective, and God bless this woman, she might be like a married mother of I don't know how many kids. She could also be a single, I don't know, because I don't know who writes this stuff. However, she's talking about there are many reasons why someone might be a single mother. Yes, having unprotected sex during your ovulation window with a suboptimal mate might lead you to be a single mother. But let's talk about the single mothers from divorce, because women file divorce 65 to 85% of the time. It is 90% if you're college educated. Those numbers are a reference range. You guys have to understand this. 65 to 85% is a reference range that I was able to read in several different studies about who files for divorce. The 90% article, I will have that for you guys in the description down below. Also, if you ever wonder why some content creators don't always publish statistics, it's because it gets like really old and really hard to do, but I will do it for you guys. And it's also the fact that you guys can research these things yourselves. So it shows a lack of initiative on your part, because I'm not here to make like really succinct arguments. I'm a YouTuber, so I'm trying to get in and get out. Alrighty, so we may find that a single parent may make a wonderful partner, and some men or women would miss out on a blessing because they dismiss them. Again, full stop, full stop. What blessing is it for a well-rounded, financially stable man to choose to be in a relationship with a single mother? But that is the praising of the stepfather over the biological father. He's not a stepdad, he's a dad that stepped up. He is saving your behind, is what he is doing. That's okay, just see it for what it is. See it for what it is, and then you can make moves accordingly in your life. But this person doesn't want to acknowledge, I don't think, that women leave marriages, like I said previously, 65 to 85% of the time, and they create single motherhood out of that as well. And what are the reasons that women get divorced? And are they getting divorced for good reasons? Like biblical reasons, if you want to take that route, ethical reasons, like things like ABUSE. We don't really know. I mean, they're going to tell us whatever story that they want to tell us, but women have also gotten divorced and said, hey, I just didn't feel the same anymore. The problem is the determination if a woman made a genuine decision in that, or she was full of herself and the courts backed her, because it's easy to get alimony and child support for a woman in the United States. So if you leave the father of your kids, who probably did love you, men file for divorce 20% of the time, okay? So it's my opinion that they put up with a lot more. You decide it's not happening for you anymore, but you know that you have a social safety net to do it. And the only thing that happens when you get divorced for silly reasons, yeah, I'm going to call them silly, is your kids lose their dad. And again, that is putting your emotions, the mother's emotions, over the needs of the children. And people will say like, oh, well, what if she's not happy? Have you met some of these mothers? Have you met some American women? Some of these women can't be happy no matter what. No matter what. You're going to come around and say like, oh, well, her happiness should be before her children. Okay, well, does she have clinical depression? Does she have mental illnesses? Because if that's the case, she's always going to be like that. The only thing that's going to change is that her kids are not going to have a father and they're going to be exposed to her mental illness more. These are just thoughts that I have, but I can't have these conversations because that would offend women. And the final comment that ends up coming up out of this, and this person is like honestly insignificant. Don't take this stuff to heart when you read them in the comment section, because like I said, we have no idea who these people are. This person states, you can control comments. You make it so certain words are not allowed. You can block comments. Do for me. Hey, YouTuber, change your comment section for me. And I don't even know if this lady is a subscriber. So it's like, why would I do it? Why would I do it? And I got to 70K doing what I wanted to do. I'm not going to listen to you, stranger. You're crazy. She says, and children of single mothers are not treated differently by the world. This is not true, and we can see this with child ABUSE statistics. You are twice as likely to get child ABUSE'd being in a single mother household. That is a lie, and the world knows it. You think that in public school, people are nice to baby kids? People are not nice to baby kids. They think that they're problematic, and they think that there's something wrong with them, and they treat them poorly because they're not well behaved. Your job as a parent is to make your children likable by age 4, because otherwise bad things are going to happen to them. Not everybody's going to love your kids. They do get treated differently. I know this. I lived it. I'm an anecdote, but how many other kids on my block have that same story but lack the awareness and the self-reflection to be like, wait a minute, I think my mom might have put me in this position. And I'm not saying that the men are blameless. I'm just saying that the end result ends up inside of the woman. So we should care more. Like, F the dudes. F the deadbeat dad. He's not carrying nothing in his womb. Women, we just have to care more. We have the womb, okay? This is how it is. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Whatever. Anyway, this person goes on to say, when they go to school, they are students. When they go to stores, they are customers. Many people are not in other people's business so much to know if the dad is at work or doesn't exist in their lives. False. I've worked in the school system. I can tell a kid from a well-rounded 2-parent household, from a miserable 2-parent household, and from a single-parent household. They behave different. I actually don't enjoy watching children that come from single mother households because they are so difficult to be around. And it's no fault on them. I love the kids. It just is a risk on my end of being a babysitter and higher stress on my end of being a babysitter for these tumultuous children. And I wish I could extend that olive branch to them. However, it is my choice that I screen the parents that I watch kids for. Because I don't want the 4 hours that I'm spending with your kid to be hell, okay? The end is basically this person saying that many married women feel they are single mothers. Okay. You didn't marry the guy. You didn't marry your first choice. Oh, boo-hoo. Some of us don't. My response is pompous, and I'm so happy that my cardigan got me married, even when strippers are married. Yeah, but strippers are married to betas. You know, at least I'm married to a man that I can be proud of, which is more than most single mothers can say. So, all right. If you like this content, make sure you get a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit the notification bell. I hope this gem drop was fun for you guys. It was fun for me. I don't bash women. I am just never going to put a woman's emotions above the welfare of children. And this platform is designed to get to women so that I can get to the children. If you want to make a better society, you need to get to the women first. They are statistically the primary caregivers. That doesn't change no matter what. Go to a school, go to a daycare, still primarily staffed by women. So I need to deprogram women so we can give these kids a fighting chance. And so far, from what I'm seeing on the progressive side of things, they're not doing it that great. Conservatives, they're a whole other problem. I will get to them. No one is safe. You guys have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.